How to build assets that pay you forever. Assets creation and wealth creation. If your money stops when you do, you're not free, you're just surviving. Every day, people wake up early, work hard, and go to bed tired, only to do it all again tomorrow. But what if you could build something once and get paid from it forever? Not just for a few weeks, not just until retirement, but for life. That's what this is about. How to build assets that pay you forever isn't just a title. It's the shift your life's been waiting for. This video will show you exactly how to stop trading time for money and start creating assets that work while you rest, travel, spend time with your family, or focus on what matters most. You don't need to be rich to start, you need the right mindset and a plan that actually works. If you're tired of chasing money and ready to start building wealth that lasts, stay with this. It might be the most important 10 minutes you've ever invested. Chapter 1. Understand how money truly works for you. Money is not just paper, it is energy, direction, and choice. It's a mirror that shows how you think, how you feel, and how you decide. Every person in this world has a relationship with money. Some see it as a friend that works for them. Others see it as a problem they can never solve. The truth is, money itself has no emotion, no loyalty, no prejudice. It simply responds to how you treat it. If you understand how money truly works for you, it begins to serve you. If you don't, you end up serving it your entire life. When most people talk about money, they talk about getting more of it. But the first question should never be, how do I make more money? The real question is, what do I understand about the money I already have? Because how you handle $1 determines how you'll handle 1,000. If you can't manage small amounts, you'll never manage large ones. Money does not change who you are. It only magnifies what you already are. If you're careless with a little, you'll be careless with a lot. If you're disciplined with a little, you'll be disciplined with a lot. Understanding money starts with awareness. Every time you earn $1, you should know exactly where it goes, how it works, and what it can become. Most people spend without awareness. They buy to feel better, to impress, or to fill emptiness. But money is not a tool for emotion, it's a tool for freedom. When you learn to direct it, it begins to multiply. When you waste it, it disappears quietly. Understanding money is not about restriction. It's about control. It's about making money your servant instead of your master. The first step is realizing that money is a result, not a cause. It's the result of value created. You didn't get paid for time. You get paid for the value you bring to time. A person can work 10 hours and earn little, while another can work 1 hour and earn more. The difference is not time. The difference is value. The market rewards value. It rewards creativity, consistency, and results. The more valuable you become, the more money flows toward you. So instead of chasing money, focus on increasing your value. Study, learn, grow, improve what you offer. Every skill you build adds another stream to your potential wealth. Another thing to understand is that money follows order. Chaos destroys wealth. If your finances are disorganized, money slips away without notice. You must track, plan, and evaluate. Every dollar needs a destination. You should know what goes toward living, saving, investing, and giving. When you manage money with structure, it respects you. When you treat it carelessly, it leaves. Think of your income as employees. If you don't give them a job, they'll find one somewhere else. Give every dollar a purpose, and it will start working even when you sleep. There is also a mental side to money that many ignore. People often grow up hearing that money is evil or that rich people are greedy. That belief alone can keep you broke for life. Money is not evil. It only exposes what's already inside you. If you are kind, money will make you kinder. If you are selfish, it will make you more selfish. The more you have, the more you can do. You can feed families, create opportunities, support causes, and shape lives. Understanding money means removing guilt and replacing it with responsibility. Having money does not make you bad. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to say yes when others have to say no. One key to making money work for you is learning the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket even when you sleep. A liability takes money out of your pocket every day. Most people confuse the two. They buy something that looks like an asset, but it drains them. They buy a car they can't afford, a house too big for their needs, or gadgets that lose value the moment they buy them. Those things may feel good, but they don't feed you. They feed your ego. True wealth comes when you invest in things that grow knowledge, businesses, property, skills, and systems that create value long after your effort ends. Understanding money also means respecting time. Time is your most valuable currency. You can lose money and earn it back. But when you lose time, it's gone forever. Wealth builders see time as an ally. They don't waste it on distractions that bring no return. They spend time building, creating, and improving what multiplies later. When you value time, money starts to value you. Every small daily action compounds. Reading for 30 minutes a day builds knowledge that turns into ideas. Saving a small amount each week builds capital that turns into investment. These small, consistent acts create massive results over years. That's how money works, slowly at first, then suddenly. There's another principle. Money flows where attention goes. If you focus on problems, you get more of them. If you focus on growth, you find solutions. Most people never look at their bank accounts because it makes them uncomfortable. But what you avoid controls you. Face your numbers. Know them. Track them. Awareness brings control. Control brings power. Power brings peace. When you're aware, you make better choices. You stop reacting and start deciding. Money also responds to gratitude. If you are thankful for what you already have, you attract more of it. Gratitude shifts your mind from scarcity to abundance. When you think you never have enough, your actions follow that belief. You spend out of fear. You make desperate choices. But when you recognize that you already have the ability to earn, save, and grow, you begin to operate with calm confidence. You stop rushing. You start building. You start thinking like a person who deserves wealth. Because you do. One of the greatest lessons about money is this. It must circulate. Hoarding kills growth. Money that stays still dies slowly. It's meant to move, to build, to grow, to support. Save and auto be secure, but invest enough to multiply. There's a difference between saving and parking. Saving without purpose is parking. Saving with a plan is strategy. Money grows through smart movement. Invest in education, in opportunities, in businesses, and in people who think forward. When you help others grow, your wealth grows too. Another truth. Money doesn't solve all problems. It solves money problems. Beyond that, it amplifies everything else. Your discipline, your relationships, your vision, your habits. So, when you pursue wealth, pursue character alongside it. If you build wealth without wisdom, it collapses. If you build wisdom before wealth, you'll keep it forever. Money alone cannot buy peace, purpose, or fulfillment. But when you pair it with meaning, it becomes a tool for impact. There will be days when it feels hard, when progress seems invisible. That's when understanding truly matters. Because when you understand money, you stop chasing it emotionally. You see it as a system, not a savior. You make rational moves, not emotional reactions. You understand that wealth grows in seasons. Sometimes you plant, sometimes you wait, sometimes you harvest. But you stay consistent because you know it works. You're not guessing anymore, you're building. The key to understanding money is realizing that it wants a leader. It wants someone who gives it direction. That leader is you. You decide where it goes, how it works, and what it builds. Every dollar can either buy comfort today or freedom tomorrow. You get to choose. Every time you earn, you have the chance to grow your future. The way you treat money today decides how it treats you tomorrow. Money has rules. Those rules are simple. Spend less than you earn. Save more than you spend. Invest more than you waste. Give more than you keep. Those 4 actions create a foundation no economy can destroy. You don't have to be rich to start. You have to start to be rich. Understanding how money works for you is the first step toward building assets that pay you forever. It's not luck. It's discipline. It's awareness. It's mindset. When you truly understand money, you realize it's not about greed or accumulation. It's about freedom. It's about waking up in control of your time, your choices, your life. It's about being able to care for your family, support your dreams, and help others without fear. That's what real wealth is. That's what makes life meaningful. And it all begins with understanding how money truly works for you. Not against you, not for someone else, but for you. Chapter 2: Build assets that grow while you rest. Building assets that grow while you rest begins with one powerful shift in how you see your time and energy. Most people live in a cycle of effort and exhaustion, working hard, earning money, and then starting all over again. That isn't freedom. That is survival. True freedom begins when your effort today continues to reward you tomorrow. When you create assets that work on your behalf, your time becomes multiplied, your energy becomes preserved, and your income begins to flow without demanding your constant presence. The first step is to recognize that there is a difference between working for money and building something that works for you. Most people spend their entire lives exchanging hours for income, but every hour you trade is an hour gone forever. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. The moment you realize this truth, your mindset begins to change. You stop asking, "How can I make more this month?" and start asking, "How can I create something that pays me next month even if I'm not working?" That question is the foundation of asset creation. An asset is anything that continues to produce value without your direct daily effort. It could be a small online business, a rental property, a digital product, a stock investment, a skill-based system, or even a brand you build over time. The form doesn't matter as much as the principle you put in focused effort once, and it keeps paying you repeatedly. The challenge is that most people want quick results, but building assets requires patience, direction, and belief in long-term rewards. To build assets that grow while you rest, you must first build a mindset of ownership. Ownership means responsibility. It means you stop depending on your employer, your government, or luck to create your future. You become the designer of your income. This is not just about money, it's about control. When you own something that generates cash flow, you own a piece of your future. That ownership gives you power. It gives you peace. It gives you time to live on your terms. The next step is to identify what kind of assets fit your strengths. Everyone has something valuable they can build. If you have knowledge or skill, you can turn it into digital content, online courses, or consulting systems that work even while you sleep. If you have some savings, you can direct it into investments that produce consistent returns. If you have creativity, you can build a product, a brand, or a service that continues to sell without your daily involvement. The goal is to take what you already know and multiply it. Too many people underestimate what they can build in 5 years because they focus only on what they can get in 5 days. Money earned through assets feels different from money earned through constant labor. It brings quiet confidence. It allows you to wake up without panic. It gives you choice, and choice is the foundation of freedom. But assets don't appear by chance. They are built by design. You must plan your actions carefully. You start by setting aside a portion of your income to create or acquire assets. No matter how small it seems, every bit counts. The habit is more important than the amount. What matters is consistency. Each month, put something toward building your freedom. Building assets also demands knowledge. You cannot grow what you do not understand. Study money management, investing, business systems, and the industries that interest you. Read, watch, and learn from people who have built wealth through persistence and discipline. Every piece of knowledge adds another layer of wisdom to your decisions. The more you understand, the less you rely on luck. Information turns into insight, and insight turns into income. The process of building assets while you rest also involves automation. Automation means setting up systems that continue to function without constant supervision. For example, you can automate savings transfers, automatic investments, digital ads that promote your products, or content that keeps reaching new audiences. Technology today allows ordinary people to create extraordinary systems. The tools exist. The question is whether you will use them intentionally or waste your energy repeating the same daily grind. Another truth about building assets is that you must separate emotion from decision. Many people sabotage themselves because they chase trends or get discouraged when progress feels slow. Building wealth requires patience. There will be times when it feels like nothing is happening. You may question your effort, but assets grow quietly, like seeds beneath the soil. You water them with time and care. You don't dig them up to see if they're growing. You trust the process. The quiet seasons are where your discipline matters most. An important part of this journey is risk management. Every asset carries some level of uncertainty, but risk can be reduced through education and planning. Don't invest blindly. Study what you're putting your time and money into. Start small, test, and expand as you gain confidence. Risk becomes manageable when you have strategy. Fear fades when you have clarity. Every smart investor knows that the purpose of taking risk isn't to gamble. It's to grow wisely. Your goal should be to build a portfolio of assets that complement each other. Point one might produce cash flow, another might grow in value, another might give you tax advantages. Together, they form a network that sustains your life and supports your goals. This network becomes your silent workforce, operating 24 hours a day, even when you're spending time with your family, traveling, or sleeping. That's what real freedom feels like, the ability to step away without losing progress. You must also remember that assets are built by consistent small actions, not by massive leaps. The person who invests $50 a week with discipline will often surpass the one who invests $1,000 once and quits. Momentum builds through habits, not occasional efforts. Each habit compounds over time. Saving regularly, learning continuously, and reinvesting your gains create a snowball that grows larger with every passing month. Consistency turns effort into results and results into confidence. A powerful principle in building assets is leverage. Leverage means using tools, systems, or people to multiply your results. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. You can leverage your time through automation, your knowledge through content, your money through investments, and your relationships through collaboration. Leverage turns limited effort into unlimited potential. Every great wealth builder understands this. They don't try to do everything themselves. They design systems that do the work. You must also cultivate discipline in managing your returns. When your assets start producing income, don't rush to spend it. Reinvest a portion of it to create even more growth. This is how wealth multiplies through reinvestment and compounding. Each dollar earned becomes a soldier that goes out to work for you. The more soldiers you send out, the stronger your financial army becomes. And over time, your income no longer depends on your effort. It depends on your structure. Building assets that grow while you rest also requires emotional maturity. It means saying no to temporary pleasures so you can say yes to lasting freedom. It means choosing to delay gratification, resisting unnecessary expenses, and focusing on long-term outcomes. Wealth is not built by what you earn. It's built by what you keep and grow. Every spending choice is a decision between comfort today and freedom tomorrow. Choose wisely, and your future self will thank you. People often underestimate the power of simple beginnings. They believe they need large capital or perfect timing to start. But the truth is, you can start small. You can create digital content, write, design, offer services, or begin a micro-investment. What matters most is not size but direction. Each small step moves you closer to financial independence. Over time, small efforts, consistently repeated, create massive impact. As your assets grow, so will your confidence. You'll start to see that you are capable of building security through your own hands and mind. That sense of achievement fuels your belief that more is possible. You begin to think differently, act differently, and choose differently. You stop trading your hours for survival and start creating systems for legacy. The ultimate goal is not just money. It is peace of mind. It is waking up without fear of losing your job, your time, or your stability. It is the joy of knowing that your hard work continues to pay you even when you rest. That peace is worth every bit of effort it takes to build it. So begin now. Identify one thing you can create, one skill you can monetize, one system you can start building today. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to begin. Every person who built wealth that lasts began with a single step: the decision to stop working only for money and start building assets that work for them. Once you make that decision, your future begins to open. Your sleep becomes more peaceful, your mornings more confident, and your days more meaningful. Because now you are not just earning, you are building. You are creating a life that pays you forever. Chapter 3. Use your mind as your greatest asset. Your mind is the starting point of every result you produce in life. Everything you earn, create, or attract begins as a thought shaped by how you see yourself and the world around you. Your mind is your greatest asset because it decides how you use every other asset. Money, skills, and opportunities can all be lost or regained. But a developed mind keeps creating value over and over again. When you build your mind, you build the engine that drives everything else forward. The difference between people who grow rich and those who stay stuck often isn't luck or education. It's how they use their minds. Some see obstacles. Others see possibilities. Some see risks. Others see opportunities. The mind directs attention, and attention creates results. Whatever you focus on expands. If you think small, your actions stay small. If you think growth, your world starts to grow with you. The key is learning to use your mind not as a storage space for problems, but as a factory for solutions. Your mind becomes powerful when you learn how to feed it. What you read, watch, and listen to daily shapes your decisions more than you realize. Information is food for the mind, and not all food is healthy. Garbage in, garbage out. It's as simple as that. If you fill your mind with gossip, complaints, and distractions, it weakens your ability to think clearly and act effectively. But if you fill it with knowledge, principles, and purpose, it starts producing ideas that move your life forward. Every successful person protects their mind the way they'd protect a valuable investment. Because it is one. The mind has unlimited potential, but most people never access even a fraction of it because they fill it with limitations. They tell themselves stories like, "I'm not smart enough," "it's too late for me," or "I don't have what it takes." These thoughts act like walls that trap potential. The truth is, those walls are imaginary. Every skill, habit, and level of wealth begins with a decision to think differently. Once you challenge your own thinking, you start seeing doors where others see dead ends. Growth starts with awareness, and awareness begins when you question your own belief. To use your mind as an asset, you must first learn how it works. The mind follows patterns. Whatever you repeat becomes automatic. If you constantly tell yourself you can't do something, your mind starts believing it and stops looking for ways to prove you wrong. But when you give your mind a clear goal and repeat it until it feels real, your actions begin to align with that goal. The subconscious part of your mind doesn't argue. It obeys what you feed it. You can train it to work in your favor or against you. That's why affirmations, visualization, and intentional focus are powerful tools. They train your brain to expect success. The next step is to give your mind direction. A mind without direction drifts toward comfort and distraction. You need clarity. Know what kind of wealth you want to build, what kind of person you want to become, and what kind of life you want to live. Without clarity, even the most talented mind becomes scattered. Clarity gives your thoughts a target. It turns wishes into strategies. When you wake up with a clear sense of purpose, your decisions gain power. You stop wasting mental energy on unimportant things. You become intentional. Your mind also needs discipline. A disciplined mind is stronger than any circumstance. Most people lose not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack focus. They get distracted easily. They follow trends, and they let emotions control their actions. A disciplined mind stays calm under pressure. It thinks before reacting. Plans instead of panicking. Discipline allows you to separate what feels good now from what creates results later. Every time you resist distraction, you strengthen mental control. And the stronger your mental control, the greater your potential for wealth and peace. Another powerful way to turn your mind into an asset is to develop curiosity. Curiosity keeps your mind alive. It pushes you to explore, to ask questions, and to challenge assumptions. People who stop learning stop growing. They repeat the same results year after year because their thinking never expands. Curiosity keeps you young in spirit and sharp in thought. Every new idea you study adds to your mental library, and that library becomes your advantage in business, relationships, and decision-making. Knowledge compounds the same way money does. The more you gather, the faster it grows. Your imagination is also part of your mental wealth. Everything that exists was first imagined by someone who believed it could be real. The phone in your hand, the building you live in, the clothes you wear, all were ideas before they became products. The ability to imagine new possibilities is what separates dreamers from doers. Train yourself to visualize better outcomes. See yourself achieving goals before they happen. When your mind believes something is possible, your actions start finding ways to make it real. Your emotions are connected to your thoughts, and controlling your mind means managing your emotions. You can't build anything stable when your emotions are unstable. Anger, fear, and doubt can cloud good judgment. Success requires emotional maturity, the ability to stay steady when life feels uncertain. The world will not always cooperate with your plans, but your mind must remain the anchor. When you learn to calm yourself, to breathe through challenges, and to stay rational under stress, you protect your mental asset from decay. The mind must also be exercised daily. Just as your body weakens without movement, your thinking weakens without challenge.